Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. I did get a haircut. Thanks for noticing. Merry Christmas Eve if you happen to celebrate. I hope you're having a great day. So now let's start talking about what was great in The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies, because there was a lot to love in that movie. So much, in fact. Obviously, major movie spoilers coming up. We've got to do our first video on the most amazing, the most epic, the most awesome thing in the film, which was when the White Council went and confronted Sauron in the ruins of Dol Guldur. The White Council, as I'm sure you know, is composed of the wisest individuals in Middle-earth, Gandalf, Saruman, Elrond, Galadriel, and the most narcotic individual in Middle-earth, Radagast the Brown. I'm gonna call it right now, this was the best part of all three Hobbit films, the moment I had been looking forward to ever since I first found out they were including it in the movies. There's a lot of backstory to this scene, and even more if you've read the books. Because by this point in the scene, the White Council have already begun to suspect that Sauron has returned, although Saruman is trying to deny it. But this battle removes any doubt as the Nazgul rise up to attack them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I loved this fight scene because we've always known that Elrond and Saruman were badass, but we've never really gotten to see them unload like this. And for that reason, I felt like this fight scene was much better than, let's say, Yoda's fight scene in the Star Wars prequels, because that felt like weird and out of character. This fight scene was an expansion on what we had already seen of these two mighty characters in Middle-earth, and some indication of why everyone treats them with such reverence and respect. But, the fight scene with the Nazgul is nothing compared to what happens when Sauron shows up, because Saruman and Elrond are still ready to throw down, and then the heavy hitter steps up to the plate. Holy crap! Galadriel. See, if you haven't read all of the books and the appendices and the Silmarillion, you might not know exactly how badass Galadriel is. Galadriel is, quite simply put, the most powerful elf in the history of Middle-earth, with the possible exception of Feanor, who you never see in the movies. She first encountered Sauron in the Second Age of the Earth when he was disguised as an elf, and she immediately distrusted him. She was the one who told the elven ringmaker, Celebrimbor, to hide the elven rings from him, so that when Sauron revealed himself, the elven rings never came into his power, and so the elves never fell. Otherwise, Rivendell and Lothlorien would have been reduced to rubble hundreds of years before Bilbo was even born. And because Gandalf wielded the Elven Ring of Fire and was able to use that power to unite the good people of Middle-earth against Sauron and defeat him, Galadriel is the whole reason that the good guys win the entire damn war! So the best part of Galadriel in this scene is her hatred, her abject loathing of Sauron. Cate Blanchett is, of course, one of the best actresses in the business, and when she hulked out on Sauron, my heart skipped a beat. But there's an interesting part in this scene that I want to call attention to, and that's that when Sauron offered Galadriel a place of power at his side, she wasn't tempted, not even a little bit. But in the Lord of the Rings films, when she's offered the One Ring, that's a temptation. Why? Well, Galadriel has always been prideful and has always been attracted to power. She came to Middle-earth in the first place because she wanted to rule. And she knows that without the One Ring, Sauron is a shell of his former self, robbed of his main source of strength. So that when Sauron offers her a place of power, her rejection is just a big fat F you, an utter dismissal of him because he's just not strong enough. Come back to me when you have some real power, That makes this one of the coolest moments, not just in this film, but the entire Hobbit trilogy, and maybe the Lord of the Rings films as well. That's it for today's video. Tomorrow I'll do some kind of Christmas something, but then after that we'll get back to talking about the Hobbit. Thanks for watching, Rebels. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Patreon link in the video description for the best way to get my books, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye!